Hey guys, welcome back. This is going to be the second episode of me, Warlephants, going through my various correspondence games and telling you a little bit about what I'm thinking and how I'm playing it out. Since last time, we've gone up a lot of points, and I'm excited to bring you these games today. So here's the first, playing against Shamrock. He is empowered. I am classic, and so far we got an interesting opening. I've never quite seen this come out from empowered, developing the rooks with the knight power immediately. I think one thing that might be advantageous for me to do right now is to start tempoing these rooks, because they are a little bit out of position in front of the pawn structure so early. So we're just gonna try to think about the best way to do that. The reason I moved b6 earlier is because I wanted to get this bishop out, and I wanted to also be able to protect the b pawn at the same time. Because his first move was rook to b3. So there's really no rush to develop this bishop to b7. The one advantage would be as soon as he develops the knight to f3, I can immediately trade for it. And the reason I would want to trade for it is because once you trade all the pieces against empowered, you win, because their queen is much weaker than yours. And in the meantime, their pieces are all stronger than yours. So you're trading a bishop for a knight that it also moves as a rook. So that's one important thing. So I think bishop b7 would be fine. Important to note that I won't be able to move this bishop out without doing something to cover this g7 pawn first. So I think bishop b7 is a fine move to stop knight f3 from coming out. Any other options here? I guess the other option would be to develop a knight. And my knights are the pieces that can start tempoing his rooks faster. So yeah, just generally I want to play defensively here. His defense is definitely going to pay off against empowered. Just trying to think of what he can immediately do if he develops the knights to here. There's no real threats against f7 or c7 if they move his rooks down. And yeah, either bishop developing to d3 or e3 doesn't do much either. I think it's much better to develop the bishop to g3 and b3 and then move the knights out, because then you have huge control of the four central squares, and it's kind of what chess and chess 2 are both about. So I think bishop b7 controls these central squares. He still can't play e4, and I can trade if he plays a knight to f3. Alright, second game here. Right. Okay, this is the game where I got behind one betting stone recently in order to have this knight move to take a free pawn with tempo. And that doesn't really matter, does it? Because I'm getting a betting stone back. So yeah, I had a little tactic that caused me to go up a pawn here, and I also exchanged a pair of rooks. So overall, that is good. Just trying to think of what my plan is after knight takes pawn and then king to e1. Probably just knight back to e4, threaten the g3 pawn. He can always move it right over to f3. So maybe it might just be better to go back. Well, he can move to f3 wherever I move my knight. But yeah, knight back to e4. After he plays f3, I'll have the most choices with where I want to retreat it next. Definitely knight takes here is the best choice, and then we'll see from there. What he wants to do. Crit, okay. Right, so this is the game. Not much has happened in the last few moves. But basically, what I've been trying to do is get more space on the king side so that I can eventually walk my king back over to the queen side and make something happen there. And what I wanted to do next was trade off this pair of knights, my knight on f7 for his knight on f3, so I could free up a ghost rook. Now that he's played b4, I'm trying to think what his plan with that is. So if he plays b5, he can put more pressure on my knight. And on knight a5, he can just retreat the bishop back to a2. Seems okay for him. But then I think I just move my ghost rook to b3, and then I can bring the knight in here and start doing some damage. What else is there after b5? Right, so what I don't want is for him to get a knight on b5. So if this comes b5, then I don't want to take. I want to wait till he takes and then take back myself. If he plays b5 and a4, that's still fine. Yeah. My other alternative is to play b5 myself right now. And I think he would be tempted just to sacrifice a piece for 2 pawns. Because pieces are not super useful right now, but the betting stones would be. But he would be at a mere 5. He'd be at 5-4 then. Assuming all challenges are equal. Which I don't think is enough compensation there. Well, it might be actually, since he would have the 2 passes over here that he can just walk down. And I'd basically have to sacrifice a piece back anyway. I think I just trade this knight off now, and then I can use the ghost rook to defend this side when stuff starts going down. Seems okay. And anytime he plays b5, my plan is to play knight a5, so yeah, it seems fine. Game getting serious. So here I am up right now, just one pawn, and right, so I'm still trying to decide if it's a winning endgame if I just take another free pawn here. After that, he can trade off bishops. And I think I just duel that, because I still don't really want to trade queens. And I try to not double my pawns up and try to keep my pawn structure as it is. So yeah, I'll just take a free pawn now. And I don't see anything better, so. Okay. Game against pace, huh? And he's white with 2 kings, so that's kind of scary. But I do have classic, so that's nice. I think my only losses to pace are when he's playing 2 kings. He's a very good kings player. I'm just gonna play c5 and deny his king as much as I can for now. Because I really am on the defensive with classic. I have to set up some sort of closed position where his kings can advance and I can still target them with checks, basically. And the classic queen is great for that. So right now I just need to kind of set up a defensive barrier. That's what I'm going to do. This game, what's happening? It looks like I'm woefully underdeveloped. But that doesn't matter too much. He's a Reaper, and I haven't been completely blocked off yet, so there's something to say for that. What I'm looking at right now is g5. G5, if he plays king g4 and I play h5, then what? I play h5 and he takes h5 with this Reaper queen, then what? It seems like I almost have to play h5 now. Or even rook h5 now. Okay, not that, because his queen would just take it. Alright, so I think h5 now. Looks okay. And then if he plays king g3, then I play g5. And he's completely zoned out. Yeah, seems okay. Let's see what his possible responses might be. Probably something like ghost rook to g6. Seems very strong. Maybe go straight to h6, threaten to take the pawn, but then I'd play g6, so I'd be fine. No. Yeah, I think I made a mistake with playing f6 instead of f5. I just need to play f5 more and take control that way. But here goes for h5. Okay, let's see. Here I am powered against animals. And he just moved his queen into range of my bishop. Seems poor. I by no means won the game if I take that queen, because my queen is so useless, but that takes away one of his main advantages, I feel. So, I could even get greedy and take his rook first. Oh, I'll just take his queen first and then take his... Oh no, I can't take his rook after his queen because now I know you can't move his bishop. So I take rook first. Yeah, no, that can't be right. I just have to take queen first. It's just so good. If I take rook first, he moves queen, and then I take a knight. I'm just up a rook. And he still has his animal queen. If I take the animal queen, he takes back, then I have... I basically have a queen for one of his bishops. My flower queen. The beautiful queen, or whatever it's called. Is that worth it? Those bishops are really strong. He'd have a lot of control over the dark squares if I gave up my dark squared bishop. That's my only concern right now. I really want to take the rook because it's tempo against the queen, and if you move the queen there, it seems like he's not willing to lose it. He's willing to lose it anyway. I think I probably just love bishops too much and I need to take this. It makes my knight a lot worse. See, right now I'm up one pawn, but no betting stones because he captured it with his rook. Otherwise I'd lose a lot of control over the queen side here if I just take the queen. It might actually be hard to defend this. Alright, this goes against all chess logic, but I want to take the rook. Because worst case scenario, I'm up a rook then. And if he takes back the knight, then I just take his queen. So that's fine. Right. Looks like I got a bit here. What am I playing? Classic versus Nemesis, okay. Right. So here, like I said before, in Classic versus Nemesis, you kind of want like a protective bubble around your king. And the bigger the bubble, the more maneuverability you have, because once his queen penetrates your position, then you're gonna have it's basically the same thing as a ghost rook, except later it mates you. So it's just gonna penetrate your position and be a huge pain. Right now I'm down a pawn because it looks like I missed a tactic on it. This pawn is obviously pinned. I'm thinking about just playing king f1. I'm classic though, I should be able to castle here somehow. Castling seems pretty good against the Reaper Queen. Like, really good. Okay, but say I play king f1 and he has to move his knight. Then I can play just by simply queen g4 or something. And then f4. And it'll be hard for him to get his Reaper Queen in. But he probably will move it to something like g5 and oppose my queen at the same time. So it's not like I'm getting a whole lot of time by taking that tempo away from him now. But it does seem like I can set up a bit of a better box, rather than just playing my knight to f3, trading knights, and then castling. So queen g4 and then f4 would be pretty good. So let's do this. Alright, this game's over. Simple midline evasion. And final game, right, is the one I was losing. Oh. I said I wanted to play a6 at some point. Still don't know what I can actually do right now to come back. I do see that I can take a free pawn over here. The only disadvantage of that would be opening up the e6 square for his queen, so I'd have to move this bishop again immediately. Probably back here and then trade for a knight later. Something like that. I need to get the open file over here. But I think trading rooks is good for me right now. I basically want to be up a pawn. I'm already down a pawn right now. I want to be up a few pawns so that I can basically just set up a fortress in the endgame. and not allow him to cross, which is really hard against Nemesis because they can reformat their pawn structure anytime they want. But I don't think I have the luxury to not take free pawns right now. That's basically the main point I'm trying to make here. So say if he took with rook and I took back with bishop, what would be the ramifications of him getting a queen down into here? I think that would be worth winning an exchange for me, honestly. Or winning exchange would be worth it there. I wouldn't really mind if he took with the rook. Obviously he would disconnect my rooks, but he'd have much less pushing power in the endgame. So I'm gonna do that. And Eric Fletcher. Yeah. So this game was very interesting because like I showed in my last video, he was able to get up a piece at the cost of being down 3 betting stones. And how I used that to my advantage was I was able to just take a lot of pawns that were defended by pieces like his rooks and queens with minor pieces, and then he couldn't recapture them just because he would lose his material advantage. So now he is actually a little bit behind if you go by standard chess material. I have a queen, rook, knight for... I basically have a queen for rook and bishop. So, especially with all the extra pawns I have now, this is a great position for me. However, I don't want to give him the advantage of getting right back in it with betting stones by playing e4. I would love to make him squirm a bit more until I've taken even more pawns. So I think I'll just get my king out of this pin, play king to f7. He'll have to make a few moves to stop the invasion on this side. And I can swing my rook in either through h5 or all the way over to the c file it up. And that should work out fine. The problem with e4 is that takes, rook takes, and at that point he would have 2 stones to my 4. Hold on, I'm getting a Skype call. I'll answer that later. There we go. Alright. And let's see, so he'd have 2 stones and he'd be down an additional piece. That actually might be worth it, because I could still win. So I have 4-0 right now. I could still win like the next few trades pretty easily. My pawn setter is actually so strong. I don't really want to give it up for bishop. I'd be much happier just giving up my knight for the bishop. So what about a move like knight f4? It does allow knight to d4 for him because my pawn is pinned. Then I take a pawn, and his knight can't really do much from there. Would also let me play knight queen to c5 and then have 2 attacks on the bishop. Yeah, that actually looks pretty promising. So I won't break the pin just yet because I don't really need to. Let's see, if he played knight takes the pawn, and I took back, and he played rook takes pawn, then what? My pawn constructor would be a little bit better than it would be if I played e4 and he traded a piece, but it's still kind of the same result. Other option is rook h5 to defend the e5 pawn. Doesn't seem worth it. I'd have to give up 2 pawns just to make that trade. King f7, I can immediately, or he can still immediately take on e5, but then I end that sequence with the move instead of him ending it with the move. So yeah, I think I'll just play king f7 for now. Get out of the pin. And then plan for knight f4 soon. Alright, so let me show you some of my other current games. And recent games, I guess, too. Yeah. So all recent games. That's a nice finish. I played a couple, basically real-time games against Pace recently, because he's been one of the players that's been very active. Here I lost to him when he played 2 kings as well. And with Reaper, showed that game before. Alright, other current games that are important. This game I've mate in 1, so don't worry about that. This game, Nemesis versus Nemesis. This is a slow and grindy match, but I feel like I'm ahead because of the thing I just grabbed a free pawn. It's very interesting though. The positioning and everything. And these are mostly just games I moved in just now. So yeah, I'll probably be uploading a video every 2 or 3 days or so with some of my moves. Usually when I come home from work, I'll have a lot of games ready to go. So thanks for watching, and any comments, questions, or concerns can be directed to the comments or sent to me on Twitch. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will be back in a few days.